Hi, welcome to the series of Jasper Reports. In this session, we are going to see the basics of resource bundling in Jaspersoft Design Studio. Resource bundling, we call it as localization of reports. The agenda for this session is, firstly, I will walk you through some basics of resource bundle. Then we will see an example on how we can localize a label within the studio. Let's get started. What is resource bundle? Resource bundle is a way of internationalizing Jasper reports in local language. Basically, resource bundle is a Java properties file that consists of locally specific data. Resource bundling is nothing but a set of files consist of text of labels, sentences, and expressions. The syntax to use resource bundle is $R for a label. Now, let us see how we can convert an English language into Spanish or German using resource bundling concept. So we are going to create 3 files in the examples. One file is for standard English and the rest of the 2 for Germany and Spanish. And we are going to display the welcome to Jaspersoft text into German specific language and into Spanish specific language. So basically, resource bundle is a dot properties file, and the properties inside it will be a key value pair. So for example, in the first one, we can see message equal welcome to Jaspersoft. Message is nothing but key, and welcome to Jaspersoft is nothing but value. So we put this key within the $R syntax. For example, $R message. So we are going to display $R message into Germany language and into Spanish language. So let us see how we can do that using the studio. So for that, let us create a blank report from file, new Jasper report. Then select the blank report from report templates. Let us save this report as resource bundle. Click on next. Select the football database. We are not going to localize the data values coming from the database, but we are going to see how we can localize a label. Basically, for this demonstration, the database connection is not required, but we need to have at least one record displayed to run the report. So select one as one. Let us take this simple query here. Take the only field for the report. Then let us skip the group by field. Then click on next, click on finish. From the outline, let us remove the unwanted bands from the design area. So we are going to keep our text on the title band. So let us remove the other bands, say page header, column header, detail, column footer, page footer, summary. So let us remove all of these bands. Save the report. Now from the palette section, take a text field and drag down to the title band, and within the expression of the text field, let us provide $R message. So even though it shows that the current expression is invalid, we would be able to see the text into different languages. So let us keep this $R message ready for the properties files that we are going to create. Save this report. Now we are done with the reporting to convert this message into different language, but we haven't supplied the properties files to this report. So we manually have to create those files and upload these files to the report. Let us publish this report first, and then we will see how we can create the 3 different properties files. So I am going to publish this report to the local instance, which is local Jasper server reports 2021. And within this repository, I am going to publish this to the reports folder. So I am taking resource bundle as the name with version 2 because I have already a report with the same name under test folder. So I am naming it as version 2 report. So click on next. Then from the data source option, select the first one, which is data source from repository, and select the footmart database which we have created for our previous examples. So in this case, it is the top one here. So let us select the footmart database and click on finish. Now, if we run this report, what we will see, what we will see on the report output. So within the reports folder, we have resource bundle 2 report. Let us run this report and see what is it, what the outputting or what the output is. So right now the output is null. Now let us create the properties file. So take the Google Translator here, Google Translator. So change this to English and this to German. Let us enter this text, which is welcome to Jasper report. Let's remove the key here. So this is what it is in the German language. So let us keep this key and value pair in a text file. Let us create a English file first. Message equal welcome to Jaspersoft. Let us save this file as, so within the D drive, we are going to save this as labels.properties. So this should be in the English. We can identify English language within the labels.properties file. Now we are going to create another file for the German basic language. So we are going to give this value for the same message key. Message equal then this text. Save this file as labels dot. Within the Jasper server, if we log out, we can see the shortcuts for the language here. EN represent English, then DE represent German. So we are going to postfix this file with the labels.de, or you can say labels German DE dot properties. So we can, let's rename this labels properties with a meaningful name here within the D drive. Labels English underscore en properties. Now we are going to create one more file which is in Spanish. So before we create a file, let's translate this welcome to Jaspersoft into Spanish. So this text is nothing but welcome to Jaspersoft in the Spanish language. I am going to copy and paste it in a new file, and let's give the key for this. The key is message equals message, basically message. Now let us save these files as labels Spanish. Spanish we represent with with the code of ES. So ES dot properties. Now we have the 3 files created. No, let's open the other file here, which is in the English language. This should be the first one. So this is the source file for the other 2 language files. So the source file is English, where we represent a key equal value in English language, and in the German language, we represent the key in the English, but the value would be in the German language. In the similar way, in the third file, we give the key in the English and the value in the Spanish language. Now, these 3 files are nothing but resources to the reports. So we need to upload or we need to map these files to the Jasper report here. So to map these 3 resources files to the report, there are more than one way. I am going to show you how we can map these files to the report from the server. Super user, then the super user. So let us go with the default one to upload the files. Now view repository. Let's navigate to the location where the report is saved. So this is where the report is deployed in the server. Let's select this one, then click on edit button. Now from the left side options, let us click on the controls and resources. So we have 2 sections in controls and resources. One is resources and the other one is input controls. So the 3 files that we created are nothing but resources to the reports. So we need to upload those 3 files in the resources section. So add resource, then the first file, upload a local file or select a resource from the repository. So I am going to show you with the first option. We are not going with the second one, but this is pretty easy. We can simply upload the files to any of the folder and we can refer it from there. So let's go with the first one, which is upload a local file. So click on choose file button. Now from the D drive, select the first one, which is labels, English E and properties. So I'm copying the name as well. Then click on next button. So here in the add a report resource file, we need to name the file. So I'm going to name the same that I used to save the physical file. So labels underscore English underscore en dot property is the name and the ID, and description is always optional, but let us give it. Click on next. Now we can see the first report, the standard language resources added to the report. Similarly, we need to add the other 2 language report, other 2 language properties file. So let's repeat the same steps here. Add resource, then choose the file. Then let's take the German properties file, open, then click on next button. Let's name the resource with the German underscore D properties with the optional description. Now we can see the second resource is added to the report. Similarly, add the last one in this example, which is the Spanish one. So select the Spanish properties file and let's name it as labels underscore Spanish underscore ES properties. Click on next button. Now we have uploaded 3 files to the report. So click on submit button. So that's all we have to do basically. Now let us run the report. If you open this report in the repository view within the studio, we should be able to see all these 3 files. So let us give a check here. So from the repository within the studio, navigate to the report folders. Let's refresh this one. we should see the deployed report, which is nothing but resource bundle here. And if we expand this one, now we are seeing all these three properties file as resources to the JRXML. So now if we run this report, we should be able to see at least the text in the standard format in the English. So this is we have logged the Jasper server in the English language, which is default. Now we are going to run the report to see whether the text message is coming in the English language or not. So let us run it in new tab. Oh, we are still seeing null value. This is because uh, we haven't tell our report to use which resource bundle. So we can configure that here. Let's be in the outline and let's be on the root here, which is nothing but the report name. And go to the properties of the report. So let's run through the reports here. Here we can see there is an option called resource bundle. Here we need to provide the standard properties file, which is nothing but labels underscore English underscore ES. Providing the dot properties. So we need basically we need not to provide the dot properties. The file name is enough to identify which is a source resource bundle file to the JRXML. So let's save this report and republish it. Now we should be able to see the message in the standard English language in the output. So let us rerun this report. Can't find bundle for base name labels English ES. So let us take this name here and let us copy paste that here. There must be a typo when I type the file name. So here, if we go back and check, this has changed while I copied the actual standard report properties file. Now, at least we should be able to see the English text in the report output for this run. Yeah, so we are able to see the standard value for the message key. Now, log out from the standard one. Now, you can see in the login area, show locally and time zone option. And as soon as you click on this one, it will bring up the two other options, which is local and time zone. So these two are independent. So let us select the German language option here, German language as a locally, then click on login. Here it should be super user and super user, then authenticate. Now let's rerun the report we published to the report, which we can see in the suggestions on the topmost suggestion report. So we can directly click on this one and the report should be in the German language. It hasn't identified. Let us debug why it hasn't identified. Uh, this should be in German and this should be let us select this Europe Berlin, then log into the super user and super user. File repository, and then this is the report here. Let's run this report. Still we are not able to see what it is. So let's debug this. Labels German underscore de, and this should be correct actually. Let us have a look at these ones. Okay, let's try in the other language, which is Spanish here. Spanish and the super user. If this doesn't shows up, I will run an example which I have already created um, before this demonstration. So we are not able to see, the problem must be in the file names here. Labels English EN and labels German DE, labels Spanish E. I have the similar examples for the same demonstration. We need to debug it, which will take some time. So let's switch to the existing example that I have created before this session. So it should be there in the test folder here, and the report name is resource bundle, and labels property is the core file. Labels underscore de is the German language file, and labels underscore es is the Spanish file. So we can open these files here, and we can have a look at the content of the file. So message equal welcome to Jaspersoft, and labels underscore de properties file has message equal then the value of the uh, message, which is nothing but welcome to Jaspersoft in the German language, and the other one is labels underscore es properties here. And if you click on this default, we can see the key value pair. So in the JRXML, I have put two labels, I guess. Yeah, I have used the same label in the title band and in the summary band as well. And if you look at the properties of the report, here I gave the name of the standard English file properties file name, which is nothing but labels here. And if you look at the configuration of these in the server, we should see the similar ones that we have seen in the example here. So let us have a quick look at what is being configured for the example we have created. So I am logging in to the server again to show you what we have configured. So ES and English, super user, and super user is the username and password. Now if I run, so this file I have published to the test folder, so test. So let's run this one. So basically this is in English. Now I am going to switch to the German language here. So German super user and there was a typo here. So logging into the Jasper server in the Germany locally with the super user and super user credentials. Now we should be able to see the message in the Germany language. So yeah, we can see that here. Now if we switch to Spanish language, we should be able to see the welcome to the Jaspersoft text in the Spanish language. So resource bundle is the other example. So this is in the Spanish language. So this way we can convert a Jasper report into the local language. So this is how we can internationalize a Jasper report into supported language, and the supported language you can see it here. So I have demonstrated only two languages, which is German and Spanish, but Jaspersoft also supports French, Italian, Japanese, Portuguese, Chinese. So the documentation is available in the community site. So here you can see that localization in Jasper reports. So there is a good amount of documentation available on the localizations. So we apply this localization on the standard JRXML files, or when we do server-side reporting, say creating data sources like domains or ad hoc views or ad hoc reports. In certain times we want to have all our reports into the local language. In those situations, we go with this concept. So I hope you're a little clearer on what we saw today in this session. Before we wrap up, let us see what we have seen in the session. So we have seen firstly some basics of resource bundle, basically the definition and when to use it, and what we put in the files for the resource bundles. Then we have seen an example on how we can, so this should be changed here.